Yo, what up, Thomas? It's good to hear from you again. This is pretty good timing since I'm not at school and I'm at Allie's in Houston, Texas, while she is at work, which gives me unlimited freedom to figure out what the hell's going on in my head, because it's a damn lot. The main inspiration for making these videos, talking to you, is related to the Vlog brothers, Hank and John. Although we're not brothers, we've known each other a significant portion of our lives, from like I guess my sophomore year in tech all the way on. So, I guess it only gets bigger the lot more we've known each other. It'll even be more than half of our lives eventually. It's fucking crazy to think about. Um, they make videos for each other about, whatever's going on around. And I just like being able to think out loud and be like, okay, well, here's some thoughts and, you know, get it done. I'll talk to you about this thing, and then they let all of YouTube watch, and that's cool. I like to see that kind of idea format flowing. Basically, I have lots of ideas in my head, and you have lots of ideas, and we need to do something about these ideas because it's driving me freaking nuts. I want to be invested in what I'm doing, and what I want to do is effectively communicate the multitudes of ideas in which are stuck in my freaking head. So I actually I write this out and I kind of script it a little bit. Sometimes I just make it up like right now. I'll be preferring the short videos, aiming for 1 minute, unless like it really requires something else. Not talking about these videos to you. I'm just gonna try and explain. You explain what you think, I explain what I think, and I took notes what you said, and then I'm going over all that stuff. So less than 5 minutes is yeah. Less than 5 minutes is acceptable under the right conditions, and I fully agree that the production value should feel somewhere in between just getting started and solid enough that it feels like put together okay. And doing research about other channels is like absolutely essential. It's freaking imperative. Every video I watch, I also look for the production value and I try and figure out what makes it reasonable for me to watch and maybe even finish in a lot of cases. Um, so you should check out Casey Neistat. His vlogs are some of the fucking best vlogs out there. He recently stopped doing the daily vlog, but he's got it like a year's worth at least, and you could go check that out. I saw another video which actually reviewed him vlogging and basically pointed out that like it looks like a fluid vlog, but he puts a shitload into it, and he carries around like a fucking gigantic DSLR camera and shit. Anyway, um, I'm okay with doing the phones and thing. I actually, lucky for me, Allie has a selfie stick. No one ever uses it, but like, I'll give it a shot. I'm using my computer because it goes straight into iMovie, and I scripted most of this, so I'm able to just deal with the fact that it's not perfectly uh, together. If we want to make good content, smart, informative, funny, not easiest thing, but I mean, come on, we can, if you make a serious video, you can actually add the funny parts in. If you read a article about John Oliver recently, there was this thing. Apparently, he writes serious things like he's talked about loan sharks, not loan sharks so much as like title loans. He's talked about lots of like serious stuff, and then he adds in all the funny stuff later to break it apart so that we're not reading some or watching some bullshit that you don't want to watch. And he's last week tonight, so he has a full hour show, and then of course he does like 20-minute videos on YouTube, which it's hard to watch a 20-minute video, but if you have the time and you sit down, it can be pretty funny. So I'd also like to point out, without a doubt, YouTube is not going to be able to fully support us. I have seen a bunch of videos about YouTubers showing how much they make and stuff. The Hacksmith recently did one, and the way that he's going, which is totally about engineering and doing that stuff, kind of a lot similar to what we like, except on a maybe a bigger scale, much more Hollywood themed, Iron Man, Batman, that kind of shit. Uh, he did a Captain America one, which is actually what promoted him into the like million subscriber amount, which is good enough. We would definitely need a shitload of other things to make us money, contracted gigs or items we can sell, or Patreon. Basically you need not you can't have all your eggs in one basket. We'll need multiple assets of income to shield us from downturns in viewing or whatever. That means making shit like welding eagles together and raffling them off, or finding local sponsors, or doing videos for particular persons or companies or, anything that's money positive, basically. These videos, for our purpose, communicating about what we should do about making videos, essentially, the vlog format is really good. I'm happy to just sit here and explain to you things. I don't care as much about sending videos of myself to you as I do about posting them on YouTube. So what I'm saying is we'll need to have video which goes over top of our audio, because I can make a good script or I can do something, but basically I need to have like cartoons or drawings or something over top of the video that's not me. I will act eventually if this goes somewhere and I have to get in front of a camera. I'm comfortable enough, I'll be able to do that. But then if I'm going to be acting, I don't really want to be just editing, I just want to be influence the editing, so we'll need someone to actually be dedicated to doing that. Someone who got away with really like inexpensive production value, Minute Physics. They just draw on paper in like stop motion, and they can explain pretty advanced stuff that way just by drawing and then having the audio over top of it. So basically, you write yourself a nice script and then you write yourself some drawings and then you edit them together accordingly. I've tried that before. It works okay. I haven't tried it a whole lot. Whenever I want to explain something, it tends to be a little too complicated to make that happen, so it's like, whatever. We might consider finding someone who would either dedicate themselves to being the person in front of the camera or dedicated to being themselves editing the video. Obviously, that's more down the line. If you know anyone who really loves video editing or whatever, that's the deal. This is getting really long, and I haven't even gotten to, like, the meat of knowledge, what requires, like, good production value or that kind of stuff. So I'd say we're going to need a splash screen / intro video and a closing video / end screen. We're also going to need, like, a Patreon, and we're going to need a website, and there's going to be some like things that you need to put your social business together. We're going to not just be on we're going to have to be on Facebook too, because otherwise Facebook will just jack all of our videos and we'll be fucked. So you have to get on there too. There's plenty of videos on YouTube about how Facebook has fucked them over, so we're going to have to make sure that doesn't happen. I've also read a lot of psychology about what goes into a good video, what brings your mind in, the mystery things, whatever you want. So next time I'll try and make a video about what makes a good video, and I'll like comment on, and I'll try and cite as many of the other videos and articles and stuff that I can re-find, and that way we'll have a better shared base of knowledge. So I'll start working on that, and yeah, it's good to see you, man. Peace out.